Episode 8, mate. 8 out of 8, mate. Hoops happy hour, how are we doing?
Yeah, pretty good, mate. Just got to watch the Heat B team.
Oof, yeah, the G League team.
Get scrubbed by Philly.
Yeah, mate.
For the second time, it is what it is.
Get to watch Tyler take 20, 30 shots or however.
Only took 16.
I only took 16. That's pretty efficient for what do you have?
17.
Oh, I thought you said he had 30.
No, that was last game. He shot 26 shots last game.
Fair enough.
13 or 12 for 26 or something.
Because I was going to say 30 or fucking 16 shots.
Tyrese Maxey, 33 shots, mate.
Just keys to the franchise in that one. Bloody everyone out in Corona.
He looks good, though.
Yeah, he's a talented motherfucker.
When I wanted him in the draft, I was not wrong.
And I'm thinking Houston might have stuffed up because they could have had a chance to get him.
Yeah.
With this trade that's just gone down with Brooklyn swooping in.
Maxey and Simmons.
Yeah, everyone was expecting Maxey, Simmons and Tyrese and some picks or something.
But they did get 4 first rounders and 4 pick swaps.
Yeah, and there is the possibility of Brooklyn going to shit.
Yeah, you never know in 2 years.
Yeah.
Kyrie's going to leave, going to retire to fight the political movement.
He's finding the edge of the earth, mate.
That's what we should fucking talk about, is Kyrie Irving today.
Yeah, we'll definitely touch on Kyrie. We'll touch on the whole Brooklyn situation, really, because the trade they got... There's only one basketball on that team. I think that's probably a key issue.
Let's get in, mate. Let's jump in.
Yep. What do you reckon? What's your first reaction to it all? Harden's gone.
The Harden trade?
Yeah.
It feels like it's a win for all teams involved.
Especially Cleveland and Indiana.
The only loser I see really is Jared Allen.
Yeah.
But in terms of what Houston got, in today's NBA, first-round picks seem to be worth a lot more than they used to be.
They're overvalued in the market.
Overvalued in the market. OKC's been hoarding them like crazy, but what 3 first-round picks used to get you is a lot different to what 3 first-round picks can get you in today's NBA.
Yeah.
Plus they got 4 pick swaps and they're all unprotected.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's just going to be deja vu for the Brooklyn Boston trade again.
Yeah, that was one of my first thoughts when this all went down. It's like Brooklyn could have fucked up big time here.
But I don't know. They've still. It all depends on how Kyrie does. I'm sure James Harden and Kevin Durant are going to ball out.
Yeah.
But all those picks are quite late, if I remember. So it's 2022, 25. And then
27's one.
27, and then there's heaps of the pick
the
swaps.
The even years,
You can't trade consecutive first-round picks. So I would be a tad worried, but I guess they're more so win-now mode.
Yeah.
Obviously, they're not too fast about the future.
My thing with it, I'm wondering how Harden will adjust, because he's been so used to being the on-ball dominant force. See if he can bring back some of that off-ball aspects of his game, which I think he will need to in this new situation.
Yeah, you just have to see how he adjusts. You're going to have to see how Steve Nash, first-time head coach, handles it all.
Yeah.
But, I think he can do it. I think we sort of thought... I say he's with his buddy Kevin Durant now, but he was with his buddy Russell Westbrook and it didn't work. But I feel Kevin Durant's a bit more easier to run with than Russell Westbrook.
Kevin Durant's a more complementary player. He can play a complement. He's not a complementary player, but obviously, but he's got the tools to be able to do that complementary stuff.
Yeah,
You're not just relying on him for
happy.
ISOs.
Yeah,
he can score anywhere.
He doesn't have that head on him. He's going to take the large. They're both going to take, but he's not Russell Westbrook where he does it to the detriment of the team. KD will make the right play.
Yeah.
But most of the time, that's him pulling up from 30 with the with the release.
Whereas the thing is with Harden, where it's sort of he's just used to being on ball scorer. He's not used to cutting off the ball. Literally the last few years in Houston, whenever he didn't have the ball, he'd just stand in the corner.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
That's he needs to improve that. He needs to
he just powdered in the corner and sort of went whatever. But this is even assuming because you've got Kyrie Irving as well, who's
Kyrie's a big curveball in all this.
Detriment to most of the teams he's been on.
I've
sort of
I've been loving some of Shannon Sharp's quotes about Kyrie lately.
Oh, mate, yeah, Shannon.
The one today where it was he wanted to be the Robin on his own team. Now he's Alfred the Butler.
Yeah, I did. That was good. Yeah. But first he calls out LeBron James, and then everyone sort of hated LeBron James for a bit, saying, "Oh, no one can play with him." Then he goes to Boston, and it's sort of doesn't really mesh well there. They play better without him. Leaves there. Goes to bloody Brooklyn. Now he's having issues in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
And you're sort of
he's a bit of a Kanye head case.
Yeah, he's just saying egomaniac shit. He's I'm intelligent, but I'm not.
His intellectual insecurity, that's what I think it is. He's so insecure about his intelligence.
He says all these big words and tries to make them make sense, but half the stuff he says does not make sense.
Yeah, he's
sort of what are you talking? He's like, oh, I'm an artist. You're all pawns in my game and stuff like that.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
obviously, he didn't say that exactly.
His
but,
ego
like,
is fucking so out
and
of
you're
check.
just like, all right, artist, let's go, mate.
Yeah.
You get paid millions of dollars a year, and it's like you can't even tell your coach that
Yeah.
that you're taking personal reasons. It's
And you
like,
can't even engage with the fucking media. Just answer simple questions. Like been seen on Zoom calls, but he was random district
partying
attorneys.
out in the club, mate.
They're partying with Drake or whatever it was.
Yeah, partying with no mask on and everything. It's just throwing your whole team under the bus, throwing Kevin Durant under the bus, your boy who vouched for you.
Yeah, I was just saying, I wonder what Kevin's thinking and all this. Just like,
Because
I could have stayed in Golden State.
Oh, I don't think that. I think he's thinking because it was a team package. Like, I'm sure Brooklyn didn't exactly want Kyrie.
Yeah.
They were like, we want Kevin, but then Kevin was like,
Kyrie's my guy.
Kyrie's my guy. And then they're like, shit. But, you know, obviously he's a top talent and everything like that.
When his head's on.
Yeah, now it's like, how do you think Kevin feels going, I vouch for this guy saying he's a good dude and he's throwing me under the bus because they're hopping all these media questions. Oh, where's Kyrie? No one knows.
And Kev doesn't exactly love dealing with the media either, and now he's copping a bunch of questions about some bullshit that has nothing to do with him.
But back to the Harden impact of it all. Like, I think defensively Brooklyn took a massive hit.
Yeah.
Like, a backcourt of Harden and Irving defensively. Like,
Harden's gotten better defensively.
Harden's gotten better, but it's more so gambling and passing lanes and stuff.
And
He's actually a really good low post
I was going to say, that's the thing. Part of Harden's improvement in defense is the fact he was having to defend like 3s and 4s and stuff under Mike D'Antoni's
really
micro ball.
Low post defender because of his thickness, and
thick boy.
Girth.
Yeah.
But so that was definitely overstated. But like, him and Kyrie, they lose Jared Allen.
Yeah.
They lose. Who else did they lose?
Karis LeVert.
I mean, wasn't a great defender, but was their bench leader essentially.
Yeah. I was impressed with the way Indy swooped in because considering Oladipo was sort of like wanted out, like it was the last year of his deal. And the way Indiana sort of operate, they try and get guys like on those longer term deals so they can sort of have like a nice steady core and consistency.
Indy played that perfectly because it was like, I think Karis LeVert's like Victor Oladipo light.
Yeah.
Like,
similarly tier of
without
talent.
Without the defense and everything, but he's a lot cheaper and he's locked up for 2 more years. Whereas Oladipo's sort of made it clear he was like, I don't really want to be here, and they didn't really want to offer him a max contract at the end of the year.
Yeah.
And it was like, so they really just went, okay, we'll get rid of Oladipo, we'll take Karis LeVert, he'll play. He's not gonna, obviously he's not as talented as Victor Oladipo.
He's very talented though. I like Karis LeVert's game.
It looks so herky-jerky. It looks like it shouldn't work, but then it does. And you're like, what the hell? He looks like Josh Richardson in the way, like, it's sort of just like...
gangly sort of...
like, it's just an interesting look. But, I think Indiana came out of it like an absolute pro.
Yeah. Even Cleveland, even though they've got more centres than common sense, but
more centres.
Jared Allen's a long-term, young, talented centre that you can keep on that roster long-term, whereas guys like Drummond and Love aren't in their long-term plans with Sexland. Sexland.
The sex. But no, I feel bad for Jared Allen, man. He went from like the perfect role on an
championship
title
team
favourite. Like, he was just asked to rebound and play defense and catch lobs.
Yeah.
And it was like, that's perfect for Jared Allen. Now it's like, goes to a bottom feeder team in the lottery and he's pretty much playing behind Kevin Love and Andre Drummond. And you're like, well, that's tough.
Yeah.
And it's like, he's going to be asked to do a lot more, but that's not really his game. Like, he's more of a DeAndre Jordan type player.
Yeah.
But, who else was involved?
Say Cleveland. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Well, Houston themselves. Like, I still sort of think they could have done better than what they did. Like, But part of it's got to do with Tillman Fertitta being a cheapskate and just wanting to escape tax and
all that. But
I heard a little rumor that apparently he wanted this direction rather than the Ben Simmons direction. Not only because he didn't want to trade with Morey, but also because he wanted to not have the pressure of having to build a team around Ben Simmons. He just wants a rebuild with just picks
I just
and shit.
heard in NBA circles, the man's not going to negotiate and give Daryl Morey his ex-GM and everything like that. Like, it's just too much of an egotistical sport. Like, give Daryl Morey James Harden back and
it's still cutting your nose to spite your face a bit though, because Ben Simmons was clearly the best available asset for Harden.
Yeah, I mean that brings me back to my point, like the way people view first round picks. Like, it's sort of like Ben Simmons was the number 1 overall pick, meant to be the next LeBron James type talent kind of thing, and it's like, but they took 4 first round picks and in the end Victor Oladipo. I don't think they're done.
I think Flip Oladipo is the one I've heard at the deadline.
Like they thought they could probably get more out of Oladipo in terms of assets back instead of Karis LeVert.
Yeah.
Because I think they just want to get more first-round picks, and they think they're going to go to a contender. And
OKC strategy.
Sort of a young player and a future first or something.
Yeah.
Like, to get Oladipo just on a contender kind of thing.
And then from there, they'll like have a real low cap and then do the thing where they trade for bad contracts and take picks with it, sort of thing.
Exactly.
That's probably their plan at this point.
I don't think PJ Tucker's going to last.
Too many contenders will want to get their hands on that, man.
Like, I think there's going to be a big market. Like, I can already see, like,
Like, even earlier, look at what fucking Portland gave up for Roto.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
That was a pretty big trade. Like,
PJ
PJ would attract a similar...
I know Miami would go after PJ in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
Like, he's pretty much culture.
Yeah.
Culture PJ.
Yeah, mate. And it's a nice place for him to flex all his sneakers down on South Beach there.
Yeah, mate, he'd love that.
Yeah, bloody oath.
Make it happen, Pat.
PJ to Pat.
But, so, like, in the end of it, I think all teams sort of came out pretty well.
Yeah.
Like, Brooklyn got their wish, Harden got his wish. They really have the only big three in the NBA right now.
The biggest, for sure. Like, all three of them have signature shoes, which is pretty
that's
crazy.
What I mean. It's like...
Yeah, you don't see that other than
other
like...
teams of big threes are like sort of 2 stars, and this sort of complementary star that people go, yeah, that's a big three.
Yeah. Oh,
like,
poor Chris Bosh, mate.
It's like, oh, Anthony Davis, LeBron James, and THT.
Good old THT, mate. Well, they're barely giving him minutes, are they?
Yeah, well, it's because he was a preseason star. I said it.
Yeah.
They come around all the time.
Roy Hibbert. He was one of my all-time favourite. He'd kill the preseason every year and then go to the piss in the actual season.
Like, no, he was always just killed Miami Heat, Roy Hibbert.
And then
verticality.
Miami,
Same with Danny fucking Green. Shooting like piss the whole season. He ends up with 29 and 10 in that first Philly game. And I'm like, classic.
Yeah.
Of course, Danny Green comes out and goes, I'm just going to hit 9 threes.
Yeah. He was inspired watching Duncan and Tyler, mate.
Just watching them. He re-watched his Spurs footage from the finals.
Yeah, bloody oath.
Him and Gary Neal.
Yeah.
But, no, I think a lot of it comes down to Kyrie. I honestly think, like, I've seen things like saying Kyrie's going to retire. Like, it's just Stephen A. calling
do like the Maya Moore type of thing.
Yeah. But... man, like, before he retires, flip him for whatever you can get it for.
Well, the other one I heard was because a couple of days before the trade actually happened, there was like, apparently Brooklyn were prepared to offer anything other than KD. Yeah. So everyone reckons it's Kyrie tanking his trade value, so they didn't ship him to Houston.
I did see that, yeah. But we just have to see what happens there. I almost think that'd be just better off without. If they had Spencer Dinwiddie still for the year, because I would almost envision like a Spencer Dinwiddie Harden backcourt would be much better than a Kyrie.
Yeah, turn Kyrie into a sixth man. Imagine how he'd react to that. He'd be fucking ropeable.
I mean, talent-wise, obviously not, but just in terms of fit, like Dinwiddie's sort of happy to sort of play off the ball. KD, the main 2 scorers there. You go to Harden.
A big key is going to be Harden getting more of an off-ball game. I think that's the biggest variable.
He's got the tools to do it. He's just got to have the mental adjustment and just the effort to go, all right, I'm happy to play off ball because he can shoot the piss out of it.
Exactly. He can come off curls and fucking shit like that. Like, it's so many new looks for him. Like, him coming off a curl, like, he can attack that with his, like, craftiness. Like, it gives him new looks, like.
Like, could you imagine, like, a dribble handoff sort of pick and roll situation between KD and Harden?
Yeah.
Like, that is deadly. That's like a pick and pop, especially with Harden's passing.
Yeah.
Like, just 2 scorers like that. Pick your poison.
Yeah.
Like, what are you going to do? And then Joe Harris on the weak side wing.
Exactly. People, they're happy to keep Joe Harris, that's for sure. Like, he's a perfect complementary sort of guy.
That's what I mean. That was like when the Heat were going to trade for Harden, it was like they didn't want to include Duncan Robinson because they could envision Duncan Robinson being that weak side shooter.
Yeah.
Like, and it's like, oh, stop it.
Yeah, bloody oath.
But I think, that's my end thing. I think they came out pretty on top.
Yeah, there's still a lot more questions and answers, but I think...
I like to see Houston's final product, how many sort of first rounders, what they end up doing with all the vets and stuff. But I think they're off to a good start.
Because they've still got some tradable assets. Eric Gordon, they could probably get something for from a contender maybe if he finds a bit of form. PJ, obviously.
Yeah.
Even Boogie's on a 1 year. Some team might have a flyer on Boogie if he shows a bit off the bench. We'll keep showing a bit off the bench.
I don't know if you can do that if you're Houston, because like I feel like the pairing of John Wall and Boogie was sort of there. Like you sort of need a rep.
Well, I agreed with that initially, but then Christian Wood has been getting those center minutes, playing really well.
Christian Wood's nice, but like you sort of because other players look at your team and they sort of go, oh, they don't treat their players with respect kind of thing. It was like when D-Wade got traded, when just got let go. I know the Miami Heat's reputation took a massive hit among players in the league. Obviously, this is not the same stature as Miami Heat and Dwayne Wade, but I think Boogie was sort of brought in the fact it was like, oh, John Wall, best friends kind of thing. And it's like, if John Wall sort of goes, oh, I just traded away my boy, just on a 1 year for something. I mean, look, if the right deal came along, they have to do it for business. But
if you get offered a half decent first round pick for Boogie, you take that shit.
That's fair, but then John Wall sort of walks around the league and goes, oh, fucking treat me well. Shit like that. But I don't know, it is what it is. There's obviously two sides to it. There's player empowerment and the business aspect of it. And
generally, the way guys like Harden and a few other guys over the past few years have held franchises hostage, I can see the next collective bargaining agreement being quite hostile. The owners, I could see them taking a stand and going, we're not putting up with this shit anymore.
Yeah, especially after, like you said, the Harden.
Yeah.
Just going, oh, no, we don't want to play. I think they need to cut into their money a bit more. Because these guys...
The players get 51% of the revenue.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean, but I'm not, enforce bigger fines.
Yeah.
Because you can't... I'm sick of this thing, especially with Kyrie, you can't just not rock up to work and get paid for it.
Exactly.
They just go, no, I don't want to play. And it's you get paid millions of dollars to play this game. You're playing.
Fully guaranteed, I think, is ridiculous.
Fully guaranteed. It's you should just go, look, if you don't want to play, you're not making $22 million this year. We'll take it.
Yeah. Go take your Nike money and become a fashion guru or fucking whatever you want to do.
Something's got to be done because that's what's happening here.
Exactly. And the owners aren't going to put up with this shit.
Yeah, like you said, I think it's going to leak into the next collective. When is the next collective part?
It's coming up in a few years.
I thought it was because
they had one recently.
Yeah, I thought they do it every 10 years.
Yeah, they had one recently where they sort of agreed, but
I don't know if that was a full thing. I don't know how COVID impacted that and everything. They might do another one postcard. I don't know. But what's our next segment?
Well, I guess we'll sort of go into teams. We'll split by what sort of teams have underperformed in... We'll say the East. We'll start East.
Start with the East.
Underperformers.
Let me have a look at my standings right here.
Your boys probably a little.
Yeah, big time. Big time. Obviously, I think the main one that jumps out to me, Toronto.
Yeah, definitely.
Toronto. I just don't know what... I think everyone's sort of realising how much of a big deal Marc Gasol and Serge Ibaka were to them. And maybe I don't think Pascal Siakam's taken the leap that everyone thought he was, or he's sort of a worse player.
Than he's digressed. I reckon.
I think people are sort of figuring him out a bit more,
because he's pretty one-dimensional.
He's sort of straight line drives, sort of posts, transition buckets kind of thing. Can shoot, can shoot a little bit, but I don't think. That wasn't.
He's not a number one option.
No, he's a complimentary star.
Yeah.
Kyle Lowry's again another year older.
Yeah,
still putting up good numbers. Fred VanVleet's nice. But I just think all those young guys they had in the pipeline aren't ready yet. Yeah,
Norman Powers, their OGs, those sort of dudes.
I'm not sure of this. Yeah, I think everyone thought OG was going to be a bit better than it was. I sort of didn't really personally see it. I don't know about you.
I hadn't followed him closely enough to sort of see the progression, but he sort of added a bit of a shot in playmaking.
Sort of thought he was going to be some go-to scorer kind of thing, and I was sort of like, maybe like a really nice 3-and-D.
Yeah.
Like a 3 and sort of a bit more, maybe add a one drill pull up into his game or something. Maybe like a Josh Richardson 3-and-D kind of. With more
better creativity. Yeah.
But I'm not exactly sure. But I don't know about the strength of their schedule.
Yeah,
I haven't really seen their schedule.
That's a tough one to say. So sort of just take it on the figures we got, I guess.
But then. Obviously, my boys. You can start with that one because I'll just bring a biased view on that.
So. Well, you've had a rough trial with the injuries and stuff, but maybe it's a bit of a finals. Wouldn't say finals hangover necessarily, but sort of Jimmy sort of easing in. He hasn't really. He's been in and out of the lineup a lot.
In and out.
I think they're sort of happy early to let Tyler and those sort of dudes develop a bit early in the season. Then once it gets closer to the go time, they'll sort of.
I love it. Obviously, I watch every game and I'm very biased, but we always just seem to lose to Orlando on opening night. It always happens. Evan Fournier turns into an all-NBA talent whenever he plays us. So does Terrence Ross. But Jimmy went down with the ankle sprain for a couple of games. Bam's aggressiveness is becoming a bit of an issue for me.
What, too aggressive or not aggressive
Not
enough?
aggressive enough.
Yeah.
Like he got outshot by Daniel Tice one
Sure.
game that he versed Boston. Daniel Tice put up 11 shots and Bam put up 10. And I'm like,
And,
look,
like-
that's cool. And that's with Jimmy out.
I was gonna say that's sort
That's-
of another issue I see
that's-
is like if your two best players are both guys that have that tendency to not
Yeah,
be
that's-
aggressive, scoring the ball, that's part of the issue. I feel.
That's Bam's game. Like that's how he got the max contract and everything. But like when Jimmy goes out, it's clearly up to you.
Even with
You've
Jimmy
got
there, he needs to expand his offensive game.
the mid-range jumper looks a lot better. Like that's like one of his main moves, face up at the high block when the pick, because obviously they're playing those high handoffs.
I was just gonna twirl your mic a little.
Yeah, mate, go for it.
There we go.
Obviously those high handoffs with Duncan, they're keying Duncan, Tyler, and just the guards, Goran and stuff. They're keying in on those a lot more. Obviously the scouting.
Like even the Lakers in that final series were saying that was their whole
exactly.
ethos.
So Bam's like sort of really worked on that when he fakes it, and then obviously his face is up and he's got a mid sort of elbow jumper. He's been knocking them down. I mean, look, I say he's not aggressive, but his scoring is up to 19 points per game. Like,
But the thing is, he could. How many shots a game is he taking?
Yeah,
like probably
low
low
11,
teens.
11.
He
Maybe.
could take 17 shots a game.
He should.
He should be.
I say all this stuff now, then I like come back on it, and I'm like, when our offense isn't really built like that.
Yeah.
Sort of like because Tyler, Goran, they all take shots. Duncan obviously puts them up as well. So, but just it's more so just in those games when Jimmy's out, when no one else is sort of clicking a bit, and you go, come on.
You need
man.
one of them to just go.
Come on, like just give. But there's that. Like you said, a bit of championship hangover.
Yeah.
Jimmy's been out a few games. Took him a few games to get going a bit because he didn't play the preseason, and I think they've had a really tough schedule.
Yeah.
We've already played Milwaukee twice. We were meant to play Boston twice, but one of the games got postponed, and then we've played Philly twice now. Obviously, with the 2 8-man rosters.
Yeah.
Which were pretty encouraging. I don't know. The first game especially was a real nice moral victory. But yeah, we should even out. Like I think we've been given the sort of the reputation to sort of be like, yeah, we can coast it a bit early.
Yeah.
Let everyone get involved, like you said, a bit, and sort of
let Tyler develop his game a little.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, for you guys to take that next leap, you're probably going to need someone like him to take that leap. So you want to give him the opportunity to grow into that. So
he is doing it.
Yeah, he is.
He is doing it. He had the back-to-back 30-point games.
But it's going to be at the expense of wins, but that development long-term is going to result in more than a few losses in the regular season.
That's exactly right.
Another team I'd say underperforming is Washington for me.
I think you're right. You sort of, like you said,
like Westbrook and Beal, obviously the two headliners. Even like Davis Bertans, not getting much of a look like, considering they've just paid him $80 million and he's one of the premier shooting bigs.
Yeah,
like he's not getting enough of it. Like Rui and Denny are sort of.
Rui hasn't really developed that much, has he?
Nah, he's just sort of plodding along, putting up
the sophomore slump.
Steady numbers. Denny's up and down, like depending on how they play him.
I never really thought Denny was going to come in and produce like right away, though. I think he's just one of those European guys that might take a little. He
had a nice 25-5 game, I believe, in there somewhere.
I didn't see that.
Yeah.
You mean 20 points?
Yeah, 20 points, 5. Yeah.
Because whenever people say like 25 and 5, you don't know whether they're like 25 and 5.
Yeah. But yeah, 25 and 5. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is like, which is what the sort of like maybe not the 20 points, but like that sort of.
Yeah, like
few
a
less
nice,
points
like
in
probably
that,
like a. You could envision him in a few years being like a 15-5-5 dude, maybe like an 18-5-5 kind of thing.
Probably a couple more boards and stuff because he's pretty tall.
Yeah, just those kind of like mid-teen sort of numbers.
Yeah, Thomas Bryant going down for him is not good.
Yeah, what he did ACL, didn't he? Yeah, that's tough. Because he was their starting center.
Yeah, and I was reading on Reddit and stuff, like a lot of Washington fans are pissed that they try and play like 3-guard lineups, so like Ish Smith and shit like that.
Yeah.
And apparently, like Scott Brooks being Scott Brooks by the sounds.
Yeah, I don't rate Scott Brooks too much as a head coach.
Yeah.
Like
he's a bit of a dud.
I mean, he had a team of Durant, Harden, and Westbrook in the finals. Fair enough, they were really young and everything, but the talent was there. They even had Jeff Green, Serge Ibaka, like all young players.
Yeah, it's like the Mark Jackson-y sort of thing, like good motivators, good at engaging with their players and stuff, but they're just knowledge and X's and O's just lacks.
They lost 4-1, and it's like you're just like, oh, that's rough. But I mean, obviously, the talent of LeBron, Dwayne, and Chris. But I think I'm with you. Like Bradley Beal's just, I don't know how long do they just blow it up.
Everyone's saying he's the next trade up.
I want that man. I want that man. But yeah, like how long before you just, because I don't even know what kind of value you get for Russell Westbrook anymore.
Yeah.
With that contract, just
he's stuck there, I reckon.
Like, I think you just move Brad Beal, get what you can get, and just sort of play out Russell's contract. Just go, look, here you go, Russell. You can average a triple-double. We're going to lose every game. But
have some shooters.
Yeah, you can average a triple-double. Go for it.
We got your guy to box out for you.
Yeah.
I'll go get Steven Adams off fucking Pelicans.
Yeah, New Orleans.
Yeah, just to reunite those two.
But I'm with you. I think Washington are underachieving. Like, I probably would have said if they were at about 500 right now, then I probably would have been like,
yeah, you'd live with 500.
Where I thought, but they're 3-8, like just below Detroit.
Yeah.
We all knew Detroit was going to be down there. But.
Well, I didn't know Blake Griffin was going to be as shit as he's been. He's averaging like 13.
Really?
Jeremy Grant's killing it. But
yeah, I like Jeremy Grant.
Yeah. I didn't see Jeremy
Grant's turned into like a go-to scorer, man. Yeah. It's fucked.
That's pretty much why because Denver offered him the same money, but he chose to go to Detroit anyway, so he can get the keys.
I don't honestly. I mean, Orlando overachieving.
Yeah.
Charlotte to an extent.
Yeah, they're still sort of those sort of teams that sort of have them in that fighting for the bottom 2 or 3 seeds.
Yeah, but playing Orlando in the 5th seed.
Yeah, but it's only by like 1 game sort of thing. 6 and 5.
That's what I mean. Yeah. There's literally 2 games separating 11 to yeah.
It's more of the record sort of thing. Like 6 and 5 seems about right for them. I'd sort of say they're a bit better than 500. I'd sort of say.
Yeah, fair enough.
Even though they've had Markel go down with the ACL, poor bastard.
I think they're gonna drop a bit, but I think Charlotte are definitely looking to drop. I think the resurgence of Gordon Hayward a bit sort of lifted him. Like he's proven to sort of he's 3 years removed from his injury.
Yeah, and now he's not a 4th option or whatever it was.
He's not a 4th option. He put up 44 the other day.
Yeah, it was funny. I was listening to a Bill Simmons thing, and he was like, why has Gordon Hayward been this good? It's like, because he was like a fucking 4th option on your team. Yeah. That's why he wasn't that good for you guys.
Yeah. Like especially when Kyrie Irving was there too.
Yeah. Kyrie had Case Irving.
Yeah. But like Charlotte on paper, Charlotte are nice. Like,
yeah, they're a playoff team on paper. Yeah. PJ Washington's nice.
Devontae Graham's playing like shit. I don't really rate Devontae, but like their coaching just does my head in sometimes. Like
Charlotte's.
Yeah, I don't understand. Like, why is Devontae Graham still starting over LaMelo Ball?
Yeah.
Why is this happening? Because I mean, look, he
had 1 good year last year, basically. Now
yeah,
they're all on his
like
dick.
How much of a leash do you give a man who shoots 28% before you go, look, no, we've got a young kid that we just picked 3rd in the draft
who we want
had
to
as
make
much
the future
upside as anyone in the entire draft class.
We drafted him to be a franchise player.
Yeah,
Devontae Graham's just a guy that happened to get lucky in that transition year after they lost Kemba and got to take Kemba's shots.
I mean, yeah, everyone was like Devontae Graham most improved. He shot 40% from the floor. Like, sure, he averaged 18 a game, but someone had to.
Yeah, he just got to do what Kemba did, and he just did it shitter.
Yeah, he just did it shitter. But he's better off being a 6-man feasting against second units. Let LaMelo get comfortable with the starters. Let him get comfortable with Hayward, because you've signed Hayward to a 4-year max deal. You've got LaMelo Ball. They're your 2 blocks.
Main guys, yeah.
Get them comfortable. Like, who else is on their roster? Miles Bridges. I know he's got really good chemistry with Miles Bridges.
Yeah. Malik Monk
sort of in there. PJ Washington as well has been a bit of a letdown, which is why I'm still surprised that they're 6 and 7 right now. They pulled up a couple of big wins though. They beat the Clippers, didn't they?
Yeah, they've been inconsistent.
Yeah, they've been inconsistent, but that's what I mean. Like, LaMelo's showing you flashes. Like, chuck him in there. Don't stop giving him 25 minutes a game. Give him 30, 35. Like, he's a young kid. Let him run.
It's his franchise, not Devontae Graham's.
But I can't really see any other overachievers. Yeah, I think everyone else is sort of pretty firmly.
You'd expect.
I think Domantas Sabonis deserves some fucking respect.
Oh yeah,
that man's putting up some numbers, and Indiana are 7 and 4. Victor Oladipo came back to life. Obviously, he's not there anymore, but they get TJ Warren back pretty soon as well.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, Domantas Sabonis.
He's averaging like 22, 12, and 6.
Yeah, he's fucking huge.
Yeah, he's a fucking machine.
But I can't see that lasting.
What,
like
the Sabonis production?
Yeah, the Sabonis
I can see
numbers.
Sabonis is keeping
You can
these
see...
numbers. I could see him keep
That's like
up
Julius
22.
Randle. Julius.
Yeah, he's another one who's fucking having a big most improved.
Yeah. Fuck, if he gets most improved, I'll cry.
Julius.
Yeah.
Nah, you'll end up trading for him, mate, at the deadline.
Could do. That'd be alright.
I could live with that if I was you. Alright, we'll go out west, I guess.
Yeah, out west. Where are we at, mate? Some underperformance.
Underperformers, I'd sort of say Denver.
Denver at 5, and especially with Jokic playing MVP
Averaging
caliber basketball.
tripped up, killing it. Jamal's been a bit underwhelming, but...
Yeah. I think... Look,
Jamal's that guy.
I think everyone I said on a previous pod, like I was like, yeah, look, Donovan and Jamal are really good, but they've got to do this consistently.
Yeah.
Like, they had their series where they were putting up 50 points, like, on each thing, and you saw like, whoa. But this is a different sort of...
Yeah. I think I touched on it when we were having that pod where I was sort of like, Jamal's that sort of guy where, like, in pedestrian games, he was sort of probably not be as big, but in big games, he shows up. He's sort of does that, like... I don't.
But he's just got to continue.
He's got to produce in the regular season to get there, obviously.
You can't be this like that. Oh, so especially with Jokic playing the way he is. Who's bloody underperforming? What's Will Barton doing?
Barton's doing fuck all. Porter Jr.'s playing real well. Actually, he's averaging nearly 20 a game.
Porter Jr.
Yeah.
Shit, he is too.
Yeah.
I think he got injured again, didn't he?
Probably.
Yeah.
Half lost track.
Probably. But
knowing him.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with. I don't know their schedule or anything like that. But
I think they're playing my boys today.
They should be a lot higher than they are. I'm just looking at their schedule. Denver, Phoenix, Minnesota, Dallas, Philly, New York, Brooklyn, Golden State today.
Yeah.
They should be a bit better than
above
5 and
6.
At least. Yeah,
at least above 500.
I think another underperformer for me. I mean, Minnesota just keep underperforming. I'm not even going to fucking talk about them.
We expected that.
Yeah. New Orleans Pelicans?
Yeah, I'd sort of agree with
considering, like, Brandon Ingram looks to be like the second coming of Kevin Durant.
Yeah.
You've got Steven Adams, really nice, big. I mean, the way ESPN talk about Zion Williamson, like he's fucking that. They should be better than 3 and 6.
Yeah. Well, they're 4 and 6.
Oh, sorry, 4. I was looking at Houston. Yeah, they should be a bit better than 4 and 6. I mean, Steven Adams works perfectly. People still talk about Lonzo Ball like he's got star potential. I think this is Lonzo. 12, 4 and 5. This is
I think he's been a bit underutilized as well by Stan Van.
How many times can people say this before it just go? You just go, look, maybe he's just not that good.
Yeah, well, he's not that good, but at the same time, it's like he's a guy who needs the ball in his hands, and Stan Van Gundy's trying to turn him into a 3 and D player.
It's because he's unlocked Brandon Ingram.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I think Brandon Ingram's long-term upside shits on Lonzo Ball right now.
Yeah.
But like, it's just, I don't know how long before people just go, this is him. This is it. So I'm fucking sick of it.
Oh, baby.
I was never a fan of Lonzo Ball, but in the draft, this is what I called. I said it. And I still hear people going, nah, he's a star. Like, just give him time. How much more time do you people want to give him? He's been in the league like 5 years.
3 or 4.
3 or 4. Hold on. Where is he? He's not been in the league 3 years.
This is his 3rd year, I'm pretty sure.
I thought this was his 4th year.
Might be his 4th, actually. But yeah, because he's in the groups, just signed extensions like the Tatums and shit of the world.
Yeah. Bams.
Yeah. So it's his 4th year.
This is his 4th year, yeah.
Yeah.
4th year.
Last year of his rookie deal.
Yeah. That's what I mean. Like, how long? But, alright. Enough of my ranting on Lonzo Ball there.
Another one, Sack, maybe?
Nah.
Yeah, they're a tough one. 4 and 5 and 7.
It's the same sort of thing. Like, there's except for the Lakers, but like it's sort of just 2 games between 10th and like that's what I mean. 4 and 5 and 7, 5 and all those sort of teams in the middle of the pack there. But it's just with Denver, everyone thought Denver was going to be right up there, right? And you'd think Jokic putting up a triple double, you'd be like they should be.
You think they'd be second seed or something with him playing that well?
This is a big one. Do you think Phoenix are overachieving, or do you think...
I was just having that same thought looking at the roster. Like, because the thing is, they brought in Chris Paul. Like, look what Chris Paul did with OKC last year. He had them
Yeah.
in a similar position to how Phoenix are looking, but Phoenix are more talented than that OKC team
Yeah.
was. Like
I
Devin
agree.
Booker.
DeAndre Ayton's taken
Yep.
it. Oh, I thought he put
Even Michael Bridges has had some really nice games. Cam Johnson.
Yeah, no, I like Mikal Bridges.
Yeah.
Like, he's like what everyone thinks OG Anunoby's is.
Yeah.
OG just got more girth and he's probably a bit better defensively.
Yeah.
But even Javon Carter, like, I know he doesn't play that much, but I like him.
Yeah.
I
They've
like
got
him.
some
It's
nice
a
pace,
nice
sure.
little
Yeah.
role. But Cam Johnson.
Jay Crowder.
Yeah.
That's a very nice underrated pickup for him.
He's a vet, like another vet with Chris Paul that's going to hold people accountable and everything.
Yep.
Like, not so much. His on-court production's pretty nice. I think it's only like 12 points or something. But
it's more what he can offer you in the playoffs. Like
that's what I mean.
solid
Like the playoffs,
multi-positional defense in a space.
defense, veteran leadership, and holding people accountable. I don't think Booker's having like a great season by his.
Well, because he
standard.
doesn't have to jack up a bajillion shots this year.
He's averaging 23 and 3. Yeah, but
like even Dario Saric is another nice piece off that bench there.
Frank Kaminsky, mate, surely.
They pretty much picked him off the garbage heap because he was
Yeah.
there last year and figured, we'll get him in because he knows the system just in case we need backup.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, their schedules. I'm looking at the schedule for them. They've had. Oh, why am I leaving?
They've taken out some legit teams.
Preseason. Yeah, they versed Dallas, Sacktown twice, New Orleans, Utah, Denver, LA, Toronto, Detroit, Indiana, and Washington.
Yeah.
But they're coming into a bit of a
Easy patch or a hard patch?
bit of both. It's sort of like a 500
bag.
schedule, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I still can't tell if they're overachieving or underachieving. Like,
I'd probably say maybe over considering.
look, okay.
Well, because considering like with that OKC comparison, I had OKC overachieved.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't think they're going to be the 4th seed in the West.
Nah.
Like, I think they
Play in bottom half of the playoffs.
I think they'll be sort of 5 to 6 because I think they've got the same record as Portland and essentially Dallas are 1 win behind them as well.
Yeah.
So it's
and Dallas haven't had Porzingis until his last game back.
Exactly.
Lucas
and then I'm pretty sure
from what I've seen.
everyone else is pretty much where we thought, like Utah, LA, and LA.
Yeah.
Pretty standard. What about your mob, Golden State? What do you think?
I'd sort of probably expected them to be sort of in the hunt.
Yeah,
like I expect them to be a
7-8.
competitive team. Like
we said when we were breaking up into the tiers, we had it in that tier of like sort of the 6 to 8 kind of range there.
Yeah, I'd sort of still have them there. They're probably about right where we'd expect them. Like I didn't expect Kelly Oubre to have as cold a start to the season as he has, obviously, but Wiggins has been very pleasantly surprising. Like his defense in particular has been outstanding. Like if you look at opponents' field goal percentage, I think he's top 3 or 4 or 5.
Well, it's about time because he's got the fucking physical tools to do this.
I was reading an interesting thing about him. Like it was a guy who's like Canadian guy, but like probably played juniors and like a bit like followed him enthusiastically. Like how we'd follow someone from Perth that we'd played with. Like who's followed Wiggins like that. But he reckons watching him it depends on his environment. Like he's a follower. So like he
was
follows
never
the
really
culture.
an alpha.
Yeah.
Like didn't really have that alpha mentality kind of
So
thing.
like when he was at like in the elite high school programs, he followed that elite culture. When he was at Kansas, that's an elite program. He followed that culture, and then he gets dumped in fucking Minnesota.
Yeah.
Where it's guys who are pretty much just trying to play to keep their careers. There's no like team culture. There's no.
Him and Carl Anthony Towns playing Fortnite.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
But now that he's in a team that has an established culture, like guys like Draymond, Steph Curry, he's sort of growing into like more doing that sort of shit.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Yeah.
Like, because that's what you said when you guys picked him up last year in off the trade. Like you were like, I thought he was going to fit in nicely as like the third sort of option in there, as scoring wise, wouldn't be asked too much. And then you were saying like his culture will get a bit of an uplift, like his maturity, IQ, and stuff.
Yeah. And he's the happiest he's ever looked. Everyone reckons he's like happy to be there. He's loving playing basketball.
Doesn't have Jimmy yelling at him.
Yeah,
it's a good time. But yeah, like in terms of, I think that's overachievers, underachievers, pretty much.
Yeah,
done
I think
on
we've
conference.
done that pretty well.
I think, most of them are sort of, like we said, underachievers will sort of slot back in there. I think obviously Miami are going to jump up. I'm not sure about Washington.
Yeah, I don't think they...
Or Toronto. I don't know. They might just blow it up.
Yeah, I could see Masai going maximising his assets while he has them.
Exactly.
He's a shrewd, ahead of the curve general manager.
Exactly. I think Denver are going to jump up, and I think New Orleans might jump into that sort of play-in tournament
They'll
area.
contend for a play-in, but someone's going to miss out in the West. That's just the way the West works.
The Wild West, mate.
Fucking oath. Wild West. Everyone's fleeing east now at LeBron's West.
Yeah. I love that, everyone goes. That's crazy.
Speaking of LeBron, I guess we could sort of... It's real early days. It's hard to pick an MVP at this point, but if you sort of had to, like... Maybe LeBron. I'd pick LeBron myself.
Yeah?
Yeah, because he's putting up... He's been the better of the two out of him and AD this year.
AD's actually had a bit of a lackluster.
Bit of regression. You're telling me I fucking drafted him with my first pick in fantasy.
Right.
Well, I took him and LeBron back-to-back because I was like... We do like the snake order, and I was like the last pick, so I had back-to-back, so I went AD, then LeBron.
Yeah. Like, a lot of players are having sort of MVP statistics, but the record doesn't reflect it yet. Obviously, Jokic,
case in point, yep.
Jokic. I mean, you've
Kevin
still got,
Durant even.
You've still got... Yeah, I mean, I think Kevin Durant has a big possibility to be MVP this year.
Yep.
Simply just, like, they love a narrative, man.
Yeah.
They love a fucking narrative in the NBA.
Yeah.
And Brooklyn are probably going to, with James Harden, are probably going to be, like, easily top 2 in the East, like when it's all said and done.
Even if Kyrie journeys to the edge of the earth.
Yeah. It's like his edge of the earth, mate. Yeah. He's like, the earth is flat, I told everyone.
Told you so.
But, LeBron James probably be my front runner. I'm a bit...
LeBron's mine.
I do love that, man.
I could see the narrative for LeBron going, because he hasn't had one in fucking 10 years or whatever the fuck it is. Like the media going, 36-year-old LeBron, he's one of the greatest ever. He wins MVP at fucking...
Like I said,
36.
They love a narrative. Yeah. Joel Embiid, I hate the man.
That's a good call. A Philly keep in the thick of things.
He's the guy so far. Like, what's he putting up? Hold on, let me have a look. I'm pretty sure it's some big numbers. 26, 12 and 3.
Yeah.
Or 27, 12 and 3.
And
I'm sure there's a couple
steals,
of steals in theirs too. Like, especially sort of Ben being Ben, putting up his... What is it? Fucking probably 12.
He's putting up Lonzo numbers.
Yeah. Well, what Ben's putting up now is what everyone thought Lonzo was sort of going to be, but with more scoring.
Yeah.
I think Philly, I mean, you've still got your Giannis and everything. Domantas Sabonis.
Yeah.
Putting up those kind of numbers. I'm just looking at the East right now. It's pretty much in the East. But, I mean, Paul George.
Yeah.
Paul George for the Clippers.
Pleb George, yeah.
Pleb George. I think it's too early to list them. I think these are just sort of contenders with the clear front runner being LeBron James. I think the clear front runners right now are Joel Embiid or LeBron James. I think that's
based on their team's records. Like,
that's me.
I'd still probably have Joker in the conversation based on the assumption Denver can recover.
No, that's what I'm just saying based on the records now, because I would put Kevin Durant as my top if I'm talking.
Brooklyn had a better record.
Yeah, if I'm talking what I think they're going to be.
Yeah.
I'm just saying right now with the records the way that they are, I'm putting Joel and
LeBron.
I mean, Boston are sort of sitting on top of the East, but just by percentage.
But they're a bit by committee.
Jalen
Tatum are both putting up 30.
Jalen Brown's taking that leap that Jason Tatum took last year.
Yeah, they're both putting up 30 a game or whatever.
It's like 26 and stuff. It's fucking scary. And then, I mean, Giannis, how long before you get voters fatigue?
I'll say he's going to have voters hangover this year, I reckon.
Yeah, voters fatigue.
Unless Milwaukee have another historical year like they did last year.
I can't see that.
Yeah,
I can't see it. I think Drew Holiday will eventually miss some time.
Yeah.
With some sort of nagging injury. But, but lead into Rookie of the Year for that. I mean, it's a pretty... My early pick of Obi Toppin's not looking great. Yeah. I thought he was... Emmanuel Quickly's looking nice, though, but he's not obviously going to be rookie, but he's a good pickup for the Knicks.
The three contenders I've sort of seen is LaMelo, Wiseman, and Halliburton.
Yeah, I think they're your top three right now.
I think Edwards probably deserves to be in the conversation, but...
Yeah, I think it's just more like... Yeah,
he's had some biggish games. He's had some highlights.
He might just end up because I don't know if Wiseman's going to put up the statistics to back it, but he's obviously just
playing the role in a competitive team.
Golden State, but I think LaMelo eventually is going to get put in the starting lineup, and I think he's just going to be too overwhelming. Like he might not shoot great. I don't know, but I think he's shooting better
He'll put up an inefficient borderline triple-double.
Yeah, it'll be because he's going to get rebounds. Like even when he has games when he's not scoring, he's still sort of grabbing like 11 boards and dishing out 6-7 assists. And you're like, shit, okay.
And the thing is, the difference between like him and Lonzo, because you were bagging out Lonzo before, like LaMelo has that ability to drive the ring. Like Lonzo He has the athleticism to drive the ring, but whenever he does, it just doesn't look confident.
Doesn't have the creativity that
it doesn't
LaMelo
look
has around the
instinctual.
rim.
Exactly.
Yeah, he's like LaMelo's natural feel for scoring is like off the charts. But I think LaMelo's definitely clear cut number one. I think Halliburton's probably second, and then James Wiseman's probably 3 for me.
Yeah, I'd probably be pretty similar. I'd probably switch Wiseman and Halliburton, but that's probably bit my bias. But I haven't seen too much of Halliburton on the Kings yet.
Nice, man.
I like Halliburton, but I haven't seen as much of him as I've seen of Wiseman.
Precious. Back-to-back double-doubles, mate. No, he's all right. I like Precious.
Yeah, he's a nice pace.
I think a sneaky contender, Maxey.
Yeah.
Maxey.
Especially, because now he's sort of shown it, they'll give him the chance to sort of score, especially with Ben being
he took
passive.
the 33 shots, but, I've watched 2 games that Philly played, and he's nice.
Even with their full-strength guys, they'll be able to capitalise on his ability to score off the dribble, because they still sort of need that, because Tobias isn't really that guy. Joel's not that guy. They still need that creative guard. Like, Shake Milton's doing very well in that role.
I think he's going to end up getting more minutes than Matisse.
Yeah.
Matisse is a better defender, but he's not the offensive player that Maxey is, whereas Maxey's a pretty good defender for a rookie, and he'll give you more. Maxey drives the rim. He's not as good a shooter as Matisse, but in terms of driving to the rim, floaters,
that creative scoring. That's what I meant. So they don't have that, other than Shake Milton. They don't have that guard that can create his own shot. Exactly. That's sort of what they need, because Ben's not creating his own shot. He's creating shots for others, but he's not creating for himself.
Even with the 39 point outlier,
that was because no one was playing, and he basically got given the keys.
Maxey's still putting up 11, 4 and 4. I think he's maybe not 4 and 4, but
something like that.
He's playing really well. He's doing really well, man.
Yeah,
really well. But where is he?
Not devastated you took Precious instead, mate?
Sorry?
Not devastated you took Precious
instead. Looks nice, man. But I was very high on Maxey in the draft.
I know.
I would like to see a cultured Maxey. A cultured Maxey.
Oh yeah.
Oh. But I think that's pretty much where we leave it.
Yeah, I can't think of anything pressing that's gone on so far. We're about 10-20% of the way through the season. 10-15 probably.
It's just bit of early season predictions, early tiers, breaking down the Harden trade from our perspective.
Yep.
But
our first chat for the actual season. The last one was pre-season 12 questions of training camp or something Christmassy like that.
It's like, need my beer to sign off.
We've had a nice little Chrissy break, all that jazz.
All right, I'm hungry.
Fair enough.
Let's get it.
Lock her in, Eddie. Catch you later.